Mountains, seemingly as old as time, reaching high up above the clouds. As you pass by the opening gate of Yosemite National Park, it's almost as if you've been transported into a fairy tale world. Whether you're looking at the rare native vegetation, interacting with any of the various animals found in the park, or staring up at the awesome mountain ranges, there is always something to be awestruck at when visiting this national treasure. The life zones in the park will change so drastically at different elevations, so much as to where a short 10-minute drive might transport you to an entirely different ecosystem altogether. The park seems to continue on completely endlessly, with endless marvels to visit or activities to complete. It's home to some of the most diverse wildlife seen anywhere around the United States, containing rare animals such as the California wolverine, the Sierra Nevada red fox, or the Yosemite toads. If plants are more your niche, you'll be thrilled to view all of the native flowering plants, the massive pine or juniper trees, or possibly the parasitic plants found all over the park. Anybody and everybody can find joy and deepened levels of recreation at any point within the park. Although the park may change drastically over the course of many years, that heightened level of awe is never going to change. Looking at all of these fabulous wonders all over the park, it may be difficult to imagine a time when these mountain ranges consisted of little more than a small stream and an earthquake far under the surface, a time when the plants had not decided to diverge, a time of long and never-ending plains, a time well before the evolution of mankind. The world-renowned Half Dome sits at a towering 8,800 feet tall and rests on the far eastern end of Yosemite National Park. Thanks to carbon dating, it is estimated that Half Dome started to form about 65 million years ago. Granite and igneous rock combined to form granite and was thus pushed upwards due to tectonic pressure. The loose granite was then cut off the top, creating the dome-shaped mountain known as the Half Dome. After the effects of glacial erosion first made the famous cut, creating the Half Dome shape, millions and millions of years of erosion smoothed out that cliff, giving the perceived effect that half of the dome fell off. Anybody would like to assume that half of the sheer cliff just collapsed one day, but this isn't really true. It's truly the work of millions and millions of years of natural processes such as erosion. Only after millions and millions of years can a rock surface attempt to mimic the awesome sight of the Half Dome, possibly the most recognizable rock face in the world. If you showed an individual in China a picture of the Half Dome, they would be able to recognize it immediately, representing just how awe-inspiring this natural wonder really is. Almost like making a religious pilgrimage, Half Dome is constantly flooded with tourists, even from individuals who have never hiked a mile in their life. This truly is a spectacular sight for anybody involved. If your adventures take you more to the northern end of Yosemite National Park, it'll definitely be easy to distinguish the towering 7,600-foot tall behemoth of a mountain that is El Capitan. People all over the world flock to El Capitan to enjoy the thrill of climbing to its peak. It is one of the most highly regarded mountains for rock climbing. Whereas Half Dome is a story of pressure and glacial effects, the story of El Capitan is a story of fire and plate tectonics. Once again, carbon dating has caused us to believe that this mountain began to form about 220 million years ago. Around this time, tectonic plates that carried the North American continent collided with a plate resting under the Pacific Ocean. This Pacific plate is now sitting under California, constantly and slowly turning that undermost rock layer into magma. This magma seeped upwards through the layers of Earth's crust, creating granite rock and a string of volcanoes all along California. Tectonic pressure directly under where El Capitan sits is what caused the sudden eruption and therefore formation of the gorgeous mountain about 10 million years ago. After its erection, the legendary Merced River slowly started to chip away at the outermost rock layer, creating what is now the modern-day El Capitan. After the effects of the Ice Age, heat caused the mountain to expand, developing cracks and crevices, and it's these crevices that provide perfect leg and handholds for rock climbers. This mountain is definitely not going anywhere, but after millions of years, it may look completely different. However, it is safe to say that it will definitely be magnificent. Not even the mighty Yosemite National Park is impervious to the negative effects that humans place on our world today. Overdevelopment, unregulated sites, fire, and of course pollution. These are just a couple of the environmental stressors that humans are placing on this park. Currently, there are conservation programs in effect within the park. These programs are attempting to upkeep the various trail systems, clean up different sites, manage the reintroduction and care for animals in the park, and overall combat the negative effects of human development. These different programs are funded through the state of California. However, there is seemingly never enough funding to accurately handle all of the environmental issues that are present in the park today. If you are interested in getting involved to help save the Yosemite Valley, you can reach out to the Yosemite Conservancy Agency. Even little efforts, such as attempting to eat less meat, riding your bike or walking instead of driving, or even simply turning off the lights when you're not using them, can drastically help Yosemite. The future of Yosemite National Park is in our hands. Let's make the most of it. I thank you all so much for your time and for listening to my presentation. I hope everybody learned a lot, and hopefully you'll be able to visit this wonderful marvel of a park very soon. With enough conservation efforts, hopefully future generations will be able to enjoy the park in the same way that we do today. Thank you.